Hi guys! This time, in response to my request on Twitter, I will show you how to make a delicious gyoza dough. Then using the dough, I make super juicy and delicious gyoza. It's easy to make, so please make it. Then, いってらっしゃい! Finely chop 100g cabbage. Some recipes use gelatin to make the gyoza juicy, but it is not recommended. I can't be bothered. You can easily make it juicy without doing that. I'll explain the tips for making juicy gyoza easily later. Add 2 pinches of salt and mix. Leave for 15 minutes. Slice 40g of Chinese chives. If you don't have Chinese chives, you can use green onions instead. Add 1 glove of salt and 20g of lard to 100g of ground pork and knead well. The ground pork used this time contains 10% fat, so I added 20g of lard. The tip to making juicy gyoza is to use ground meat with more than 30% fat. And another tip is to knead the ground meat well with only salt, without adding other ingredients or seasonings. By adding salt and kneading, the meat proteins, myosin and actin are intricately entwined, forming a three-dimensional mesh. By doing so, the water retention capacity of the meat can be increased, resulting in a juicy finish. Myosin is sensitive to heat, so use ground meat that is well chilled or knead while chilling the bowl. Sugar, chicken stock powder, soy sauce, oyster sauce, sesame oil, all 1 teaspoon, 3 tablespoons of sake, 10g each of grated garlic and ginger. Appropriate amount of pepper. Mix well. In this video, ground pork is used, but it can also be made with ground beef. It is also recommended to use Wagyu beef fat or Iberian pork fat instead of lard. Leave in the refrigerator for 1 hour. Add 70 cc of hot water to 140g of flour and mix. I'm going to make gyoza dough that was requested. Japanese people like chewy texture, so they often use strong flour for homemade gyoza dough. However, I only use cake flour this time. By doing so, you can reproduce the gyoza dough sold in Japan. Make sure that the protein content of the flour used is 6.5 to 8.5%. The less protein, the less gluten, and the lighter texture. By the way, gyoza dough can be easily bought in supermarkets in Japan, so most Japanese do not make it by hand. Knead for about 5 minutes. When the dough doesn't stick to your hands and is about the hardness of your earlobe, it's done. Flour the dough and roll it out to about 2 mm thick. Flour the dough when rolling it out. If the amount of flour is too little, the dough will stick to the chopping board or rolling pin. There is a way to make the dough like this video, but I don't recommend it because it is not a beautiful round shape. If the gyoza dough does not have a nice circular shape, the finished product will not only look bad, but it will also be more difficult to wrap. Cut it out with a rice bowl. Diameter is 11.5 cm. Gyoza made in a larger size will be juicier. Collect the dough, stretch it, cut it, and repeat. Coat the cut dough with plenty of flour. Squeeze the water out of the cabbage. Squeezing the cabbage prevents the ingredients from becoming watery. Mix the cabbage and Chinese chives into the meat just before wrapping. If premixed, the vegetables will release water and the ingredients will be watery. Place the ingredients in the center and wet the edge with water. Slice the dough is dusted with flour. The flour replaces the glue simply by adding water. Up like this. There are various ways to wrap the gyoza, but the important thing is not how to wrap them, but to stick the gyoza dough together perfectly. and to wrap as many ingredients as possible. It is ideal to pack about 20 to 25 grams of ingredients per gyoza. Arrange the gyoza without oil in the pan. Heat over high heat. Pour in about 5 ml of hot water. Cover and heat for 5 minutes. If it's about to boil over, remove the lid a bit. Remove the lid and reduce heat to medium. Heat until the water remaining in the pan is gone. Add 1 tablespoon sesame oil. Cover and cook for another 5 minutes. One of the gyoza dough tore during baking, so it got a little burnt. Be careful not to tear the gyoza dough during baking, as this will burn the extracts of the filling and make it look bad. Could you see how juicy it is? いただきます。Wow, drool. No. But meat juice is spewed out. It's like a fountain of meat juice, isn't it? So juicy. Let's eat it with vinegar soy sauce, which is the orthodox way of eating in Japan. Vinegar soy sauce can be made with 1-to-1 rice vinegar and soy sauce. Every bite is flooded with meat juices. It is refreshing and I can eat as many as I want. You can add chili oil if you like. And my favorite way to eat, it is the sauce with plenty of black pepper in rice vinegar. Very tasty. It is recommended because you can feel the original taste of gyoza rather than vinegar soy sauce. ごちそうさまでした。Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to our channel.